Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my Study General Conference this morning. While I was on a run, I was listening to Melvin J. Ballard's October 1931 General Conference address. And in this address, he was warning about the rise and the dangers and the evils of Bolshevism, which is the precursor to Soviet Union communism, socialism that was sweeping over the world in the early 1930s. And Elder Ballard talked about how this was an evil thing. And he points out that the scriptures of the Restoration contain a unique warning, whereas all of Scripture talks about the duty of the rich to give to the poor, and that when the rich are unwilling to give to the poor, that they stand condemned before the Lord. In the Scriptures of the Restoration, there is also a warning to the poor, that they should not covet that which the rich have, because the poor that covet the rich and the riches and the property and the goods of the rich, they stand condemned before the Lord as well. He then talked about the fact that it is the duty of the rich to give to the poor, and it is the duty of the poor to not covet the rich. And that if the rich are not giving to the poor, and the poor see that, then oftentimes they will result in stealing, taking from another man that which is rightfully his. And he called this the spirit of Bolshevism. And what's interesting was, he was quoting a verse. And the verse in the Doctrine and Covenants talked about it being the spirit of covetousness. And he swapped out the word Bolshevism for that. And I really like that because it just highlights that the doctrinal underpinnings of far left socialism, communism, welfarism, this idea that we got to take from the haves and give to the have-nots, that the rich need to be soaked, that is the spirit of covetousness. It is the spirit that Lucifer expressed in the council in heaven. He coveted that which the Father had, and therefore he launched the war in heaven. When we are able to be stoked by Lucifer to say, hey, others have more than I have, and Lucifer can get us to follow his spirit, the spirit of covetousness, then the rise of Bolshevism, socialism, communism, people like Zoran Mondani happens around the world. And Elder Ballard talked about that this will continue. It has been a cycle through all of history. There will always be the cycle, because the cycle is necessary, because we need to have the ability for the rich to willingly choose to give their substance to the poor and the needy, to tithe, to fast offering, to serve, to give up that which they have in order to follow Christ. And when they don't, they'll stand condemned before Christ, and oftentimes it will cause, civil unrest in the lands that they live in. But that this is a cycle that will continue until the solution is voluntarily adopted. And what is the solution? It's not communism, it's not socialism. The solution is a people who accept Christ and accept the united order and live the law of consecration to the full extent and take care of one another. But that this is independent and separate from the counterfeit of communism, socialism, and Bolshevism.